Hello everyone and welcome to Games, Comics and Crafts.
In this series of videos, I'll be looking at the Judge Dredd case files in order and picking out the most prominent and important stories, as well as noting some artists and writers that actually appear in these books. Okay, so this is volume 26 of the complete case files. When I first saw this one, I thought they'd made a mistake because we've got Dredd on the back of one of those Dune sharks. And they were in last book, so I thought, okay, that's weird. But no, we actually got a sequel to that story, so that's where that comes from. So all in all, yeah, not too bad. The big hit starts off with an assassination attempt against Volt, and it turns out they thought it was they thought it was this guy, and he's a Wally Squad guy, and then apparently he gets a curse put on him or whatever, so he ends up attacking Volt, and that's okay. And then we get the crossover. Now the crossover is okay. Oh, sorry. First of all, we've got Lonesome Dave. Lonesome Dave's just a kind of a parody about some cowboy stuff in the sea, and it's alright. It came from outer space. It's alright, and it's basically this little dude here is like, oh, you need to sacrifice so many uh million people in your city. It's like, no, I'm not having any of that. Artwork's really, really nice. Story, yeah. Um, so we start off with the hunting party, which is this kind of multi-part crossover. So we've got Sean Phillips artwork, very, very nice. Um, it's Wagner, so it's good, but there's a little bit in it that does annoy me a little bit. So we've got this kid here who's apparently like a Wally Squad chap, and that's why he's got tattoos on him. And then we've got this other guy who's apparently from Britsit, so that's why he's got the different helmet design. But he's also got a Britsit bike. And it's like, well, surely would you really bring like a piece of equipment over from Britsit to do that? But he's also got the little star on his chin. Now, the star on his chin, and I can't remember the name of the judge now, but the star on his chin was the point of it was a beauty mark effectively because it's some kind of like upper class thing in Brits at the time. So the idea that this guy's got exactly the same one, yeah. So they're out there looking for these June sharks, and it kind of runs into basically like loads of subsequent stories that kind of as they travel across the cursed earth. So it gets Americana thing where they um, try and pretend that Dredd has fled Mega City 1, I think it is, and they're there looking at that, which is again artwork's really nice. It's Trevor Hairston artwork, so that's pretty cool. And they're taking those out, and they turn out to be cannibals. Fog in the Ear is quite interesting one where they take this ride um, across the river, and it turns out this whirlpool sucks them down into it, and they end up being in like 1998 or whatever it is in New York. Um, oh no, it's just before the atomic war, and they know the atomic war's coming, so they basically have to try and get out before they get destroyed. That's pretty good. Um, Spider Queen, pretty cool. Not too bad. Again, hairstyle artwork. And yeah, the interesting thing, this is kind of what made the Pit very, very good. Is you're giving Dredd, you're giving him a supporting cast. Um, and those supporting casts kind of because they hang around for a long time, they actually get personalities. So although Hershey is well known in this, you don't really see her as a character that always kind of like always the buddy, which is exactly what Decker was, and then they killed Decker off, which is a shame. So we get to see kind of like these cadets all have a different personality. They're kind of some of they're flawed in different ways and all this kind of stuff as well. But it's quite nice to actually kind of see these characters develop over time, and that's why the Pit was so good. It's not just about Dredd; it was about everybody else and the other stories going on. So artwork's not too bad. But yes, again we get into the painty stuff, which again I'm never really a fan of. Shark Country, we actually finally get to the shark, see these sharks, and then they kind of look around. And it turns out this robot is there breeding them, all this kind of stuff as well. Again, it's Herson artwork, pretty decent. But this takes up like 50% of the book easily. Mad City's about this back glider chap, and that's pretty nice artwork as well. And by the time that finishes, unless I'm mistaken, we are into the case files, the magazine stuff, which isn't that great. So this, do you know what? I can't remember what this one's about because I just I don't know, something about the magazine that I just switch off on. There's just it doesn't seem to be that relevant. It's normally a gag story or whatever, but yeah, it's okay. It's a crime thing. It's fine. It's all right. It's fine. And then we get this one, which is the crossover with Devil in War. Now, I would have liked this to have been Sean Phillips because I believe he was the original creator of Devil in War. And we've got this Siku, I believe it is the artist. And yes, there's some nice artwork in it. But again, fundamentally, we're in that extreme phase again, where Dredd doesn't look like Dredd. He looks like a caricature of Dredd. We get all this kind of like arty kind of style design, which is great, but is it conducive to storytelling? Because sometimes you go, well, what the hell's that? I don't know what that is. It does actually take absolutely ages for Devil in War to show up, so I don't quite know if this was sold as a Devil in War crossover when it first started, or if it was like a surprise we turned up halfway through. But Devil in War's quite a cool character, and I don't know. Actually, I'm quite surprised they've not collected all his stuff as a big book, because surely there must be enough in there now for a decent sized collection. I know they did trades and stuff, but so yeah, because of this, it really took some getting kind of getting through. It took a long time to actually do so because of the artwork. It's set in Africa, so we can see like another mega city style uh, uh, group that we've not seen before. And it's fine, but it's just these kind of over exaggerated dreads and stuff. Fine enough, Devil in Wild looks alright. They always draw in pretty decently, but Dredd looks a bit crappy. So yeah, all in all, it's okay, but I struggled to get through, and it goes on for a very, very long time. And then we get the Warriors, which I actually quite like. Um, so we've got Dredd has to travel to Hondo City and meets Judge Inspector. I can't remember what her name is now. Judge Anaba, which I believe is from, obviously from. I can't remember. Yeah, they can't remember the judge now. Anyway, I don't know why she doesn't wear a helmet. I find that strange, but it's quite good. She basically takes his gun. She takes his gun. She says, "Right, okay, there's a no gun rule, and even judges can't break it." So it kind of that explains why they've got them banned kind of things, which is pretty smart. And they're going after some criminals there as well, and it's not too bad. It's it's uh, coloring on some of the characters is a little bit questionable, I would say, and I would have done it differently. But all in all, the story itself is not too bad. And then we get another extreme style character thingy going on, and it's fine, but it's not what I find interesting. And that's probably what I think by the magazine. I remember I bought lots of magazines when it first came out, and I think that's what it was. I think we got to a situation where the main story, we got one, we've got one Dread story, and then you got a load of backups. And I think it got to a situation where all of the Dread stuff was painted, and because it was all painted because of Bisley and all this kind of stuff, and Bisley was a bloody genius, and he still is, and his ABC Warriors 1 is fantastic. But I think if his ABC Warriors 1 had been painted, it might have been a different thing. Because it was black and white, it was excellent. But I think because we got into that kind of era, I just think I started falling out of it. That I was basically spending, getting 1 month's worth of Dread for whatever it was, £5 or £3, whatever it was, and just not liking the Dread story, and it was kind of pointless. And then you have backups in there that weren't even like part of the Dread's world. We've got Armitage and a few others, but you got that Owl's Baby or whatever, which I don't think was part of Dread. and other stuff like that. So I think that's why I stopped buying magazine. It's been a fair number of years since I bought it. But and not being funny, reading these stories at the back of these complete case files pretty much sells me on. You probably made the right decision because you'd have had spent an absolute fortune on magazines throughout a year, and you would have probably hated most of them. So yeah, so not all in all 26, not too bad. Again, I've been kind of previewing 27, 28 onwards, and I still haven't quite seen that heavy hitter storyline in there. That Necropolis, Apocalypse War, this kind of stuff. But maybe something will surprise me later on and going on. I know we've got a Vault is going to change pretty soon, I think, to another judge, chief judge. But I can't think of anything at the moment that's there. That's a big story. Necropolis is the last big story I can remember, at least until Origins. Um, I think that's a while yet before we get to Origins. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's enough rambling for now. So thanks for listening, and hopefully I will see you on another video very, very soon. Bye bye.